Plenary sessions were telecast live on YouTube through One World TV, reaching viewers all over the world with instant comment and suggestions from them. A journal will be published summarizing the findings of this conference, which will be available globally.
We're also having blogs and photographs being sent out around the world. So there's a growing interest in this issue of community-based adaptation around the world. And this conference is trying to provide the latest information to that growing body of people who are interested in climate change.
In addition to the written speech, poster presentation was organized in the conference. Various organizations presented their project concepts, activities and plans through their posters and gave answers to queries. This allowed participants to learn about the activities of various organizations in this field.
Well, I'm learning from here quite a lot, because our development project is sometimes very complex, but in a simple one page, it can be explained very clearly sometimes.
Not only to learn the good things, but also to learn the bad, and also to collect materials that people have written and share the experiences. So I think it's really twofold, to share with the people who have written and also to know the experiences and to collect something that you take back and share with people.
Based on the decisions of the judges panel, representatives from 3 organizations were given prizes on 30th March. On the closing day of the conference, on 31st March 2011, Dr. Atiq Rahman and Dr. Salimul Haq presented their speech on behalf of the organizers. The chief guest of the closing session, Chairman of IPCC, Dr. Rajendra K. Pachori, also gave his speech.
I'm delighted that the next gathering will take place in Vietnam, because I think that will also give you a diversity of insights and experience, all of which will enrich what we need to do in the future. We also know that with the impacts of climate change in the future, the capacity which often has been adequate in the past and has served us very well may turn out to be totally inadequate in the future. So, if we really want to improve this adaptive capacity, then we must understand what constitutes this capacity. Because if we don't have a full understanding of what this capacity represents, what this species called capacity for adaptation really is, we might fall short of creating it in seeing that we are resilient and are able to deal with the impacts that we're going to face in the future.
Participants from various countries discussed and shared their opinion about the achievements of this conference and ways to enrich it further in future.
So the real opportunity to scale up is to harmonise and forge coalitions, forge alliances between the civil society movements, between the networks, and really put the pressure on the state to bring about the changes that we need.
At the community level, people who are working on mitigation, and whether we need to do more of the link between adaptation and mitigation at the rural community level.
How do we measure that indeed we are equipping our groups and ourselves with the adaptive capacity on those programs?
How we can develop mechanisms, innovations or interventions that harness the opportunity of community knowledge as well as the science.
I think we should learn from previous experiences in previous schools and development as well as looking forward.
And I really don't know how many people of Latin America actually attended this conference, but I am sure that we're finding the same challenges on safety nets and livelihoods.
How can we make sure that they start to realize that whatever they are doing is contributing to climate change adaptation?
Will ultimately work at local level is the adoption of an integrated approach and integrated in the context of development.
I think that's a really important area for you to be engaging with government.
So I think that it's a very motivating factor for all of us to learn, to unlearn, to act.
I think everybody can do something. So it's about spreading the word. It's about making everybody act because we are all concerned.
As I leave tonight, to go back to Papua New Guinea, I must say, and I'm very thankful that I will be taking back with me a bag full of knowledge, experience, interaction with a lot of you have given me a very important information about CBA, about climate change, and the connection way to seek funding and assistance, and I shall take that to my country and spread the good word to more people.
It was also decided that the next and 6th conference on community-based adaptation will be held in Vietnam next year on the communication issues. Major objectives of this conference on community-based adaptation were to observe, analyze, and disseminate the knowledge on how the affected communities in 4 countries across the globe are continuing their struggle and coping with the impacts of climate change.